Now today, I'll be showing you how to change spark plugs in your G8 V6. Now there's a little bit of work to do, so let's just go ahead and get started with it. Now first thing, I'll start by removing these covers and just pop off. Now you can see we have 3 spark plugs here, 3 on the other side. Now for the most part, they're not hard to get to, except for mainly the one here and the one there. That one may be a bit of a pain as well, because at least those 3 will have to pull the intake off to get to. That's really the only difficult part about changing plugs on this car. Other than that, if that wasn't the case, this would be a pretty simple, easy, quick job. But we're going to start by go ahead and removing the intake. Alright, now we'll start by using a 7mm, loosening this clamp up so we can get this out of the way. You may or may not have to take it completely off, but I will go ahead and completely remove it just to get it out of the way and make more space. Now I'll disconnect this one and that one. That one right there. Now at this time, check these plastic lines, these hoses for any cracks, because it'd be an easy time to replace it all now if need be. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and release the throttle position sensor. There is a little locking clip on it at the bottom part of it, and there it is. Now there are 6 intake bolts. One here, 4 in the center, and one opposite of this first one back here in the back, which is the tricky one to get to. Not really tricky, it's just kind of a pain. So I'm just going to take my 13mm, my ratchet, and there I'm on it. And there we go. Now that actually is not too horrible bad. There's not really much room for an extension of any kind on that one. Let's go ahead and get that one done and out of my hair, since it is the one that is more of a challenge to get to. Then I'll just bring the focus to the rest of them. Now the only trick on that last one is just making sure that you got it loosened all the way to remove the bolt. So I may have to just put the socket on it at the end, try to twist that bolt up a little bit more. Now you may be able to remove some of this, get that out of your way, just to make it easier on that last one. Remember, we do have different sizes here. Alright, if you can see that 10mm bolt here, we'll go ahead and loosen this off. Out of our way. Now there is one more piece of the puzzle on the back side of the intake, and let's see if I can get a good shot of it. This clip right here. Yeah, you should be able to see that right there. That will have to be removed as well. There we go. Little pushing tab. More of the there we go. And of course, one more hose. Now that that's out of the way, and we move the intake up, now I can get the pair of pliers on this little hose clamp. Get that out of the way. Pull that one off. Alright, now anytime you pull the intake, I would recommend changing these gaskets. Number one, I don't know when the last time these were changed. They do look a little worn now, but just stay safe side so you don't have to take it back off just in case. I'd always recommend putting new intake gaskets on. Alright, now all we gotta do is loosen each individual coil pack with a 10mm. So we can finally get to the plugs. Now we'll just take our spark plug socket. Well, they're probably a little tighter than they should be. I'm not sure how long these have been in there or if they've ever been changed. I bought the car probably 20 miles ago, so I don't know much about the history or how long these been in there since I bought it from the car lot, not the owners. Now this can even be a pain with the spark plug socket, but there it is. Okay. Now we'll just repeat with the rest of the cylinders. This car actually has 163,000 miles. And these honestly look like they've never been changed. Sometimes getting a few taps will actually break one loose that has been, well, that is too tight, that's been in there too long, rather than trying to put a cheater bar or something on there and risk damaging more. Now we're just going to install the new plugs. I'm running E3s. I've always had good luck out of them. And these are E3 74s. So it's going to use our spark plug socket with a rubber boot in it and make sure it holds it. That way we can easily and gently bring the spark plug down into place. And tighten it down until it's snug. Which on these there's a lot of threads unlike some other style. But there we go. It's snug. Give it just a little bit of a turn. Not a lot. Probably no more than a quarter. And there's one. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the plug in, put the coil pack on, and once I got all of them together, then I'll go ahead and drop the 10mm bolts back in. Now I'm reinstalling the 10mm bolts to hold down coil packs. Then I'll tighten them all down. And all we're going to do is snug these down. They don't have to be extremely tight, just enough to hold them in place. Of course, now we're going to do this in reverse. We're going to put it all back together. So I'm going to bring this forward, reconnect this hose with the metal clamp back here first. Get that secured. Now there is a bracket on the back side of this intake that holds some lines. Not sure how that goes because they just kind of weren't attached when I pulled this intake off. Now slide it back some more. Plug in the harness on the back side of the intake. There. Now, lift that up, bring it back. And get this thing lined up. Now what I'm trying to do is actually get that back intake bolt where it should be. Make sure you have that padding and everything out of your way. Make sure everything is going to clear. This bracket that had the 10mm, I'm just going to set it in place for now. I'll put the bolt back in there in a little bit. That way it's not held down and causing any kind of holdups. There we go. Make sure I can get this back bolt started, because that is the main one to deal with out of all these. Start that one, see as long as it starts. Start that one. There we go. It looks like they're all lining up, which is good. Now I'll just go back to 13mm. I'm going to get this one pretty close to snug first, since that one's going to be the more challenging one out of all these. You don't even have to get it real snug, just get it down a little bit where you know it's good in there, because when we go tighten this up, we want to work our way crisscross from the center out. So I'm just going to snug these down. Now I know they're snug. I'm going to go ahead, reconnect everything. Take the 10mm, bolt this bracket back down.
Do it, man. I appreciate it.
Not a problem.
All right, you have a good one.
You too. Alright. Pull this foam back up where it was. There we go. Now to finish tightening down the intake. Now for factory specs, it is 17 foot-pounds, I believe. But let's go over here, tighten these down just like like this. 17 foot-pounds is really not a lot. In fact, I'm not 100% sure that my torque wrench will actually get this rear bolt. Yep, my torque wrench is a little bit large for this application. In fact, it only goes down to 25 accurately, so I'm just going to go back and make sure we're good after tightening them that last time. And as long as I don't have an engine light come on, should be good. And I know there's some purists out there that's saying, well, you should really make sure it is 17 foot-pounds of torque. All the intakes I've ever done, never actually put a torque wrench on them, especially on anything with threaded in aluminum, because I have a bad habit of actually making it worse. There it is. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the covers back on. And start it up. Just to check everything. So. Yes. I believe I did make one miscalculation there, but that's fine. There it is. Going to tighten that back down, start it up, and check everything, make sure there's no engine lights, and it should idle pretty good. Last but not least, make sure to plug the throttle position sensor back in and puts the lock underneath back in. Alright, there it is. Spark plugs are installed. That didn't take as long as I thought it was. It's the first time I've changed spark plugs on this engine. I've never changed spark plugs on the 3.6 yet. First time, so it wasn't too difficult. Obviously, other than moving the intake manifold itself, wasn't difficult. Just kind of a little tedious, I would say. But it wasn't too bad. Starts up fine. Got plenty of power going down the road now. So it's all good. Now hopefully this information proved helpful to you. And as always, thanks for watching.